Welcome to the realm of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Enjoy listening. William Cruise was one of the wealthy elite who had transcended the boundaries of Earth, living a life of unimaginable luxury among the stars. He had money, power, and access to every indulgence the galaxy could offer. He stayed in the most expensive space hotels, traveled to exotic planets, and could buy any experience he desired. Yet despite all this, there was a void in his life that no amount of wealth could fill. The absence of genuine friendship or someone who valued him for who he truly was. Across from the luxurious hotel where William resided stood a massive space station, a bustling hub of activity filled with humans and various galactic species. It was a place of work where people from different planets came together. Among them was a woman who had caught William's attention. She had a humanoid form, but her skin was a soft shade of purple. Her long, sleek hair and striking eyes made her stand out. Every day, as she left the station, William found himself unable to look away. Though her face bore the same tired expression as the other workers, there was a certain vitality about her that intrigued him. He had thought about approaching her countless times but had never mustered the courage. For months, William observed her. He tried to learn where she spent her time, which direction she walked after work, and what she enjoyed doing. But no matter how much he learned about her habits, the result was always the same. He couldn't summon the courage to approach her. Finally, one day, he told himself he had waited long enough. It was time to speak to her. He caught her at the station's exit and carefully chose his words. "Hello, I've seen you here often, and—" The woman turned her gaze to him, her expression unreadable. As William tried to finish his sentence, she replied in a cold, detached tone, "I'm not interested." William was left speechless, frozen in place. Without wasting another moment, she walked away and disappeared into the crowd. The encounter left a deeper impact on William than he had anticipated. He had waited so long to speak to her, gathered his courage, and yet had been rejected instantly. At first, his pride was wounded. But then he began to reflect. Had he really thought he could impress her with his wealth? Perhaps he had been going about it all wrong. That night, William lay awake, lost in thought. The next day, he visited one of the finest florists on the space station and commissioned a special bouquet. It was a stunning arrangement of rare flowers, their petals shimmering faintly in the sunlight. He wanted to show her that he valued her for who she was, not for what he could buy. He believed that a sincere gesture, rather than his wealth, might win her over. That evening he waited for her at the station's exit once more. When she emerged, he stepped forward and held out the bouquet. "I'm sorry if I disturbed you yesterday. I really want to get to know you." The woman looked at him, her stern expression softening slightly. She glanced at the flowers, then back at William. There was a brief silence before she finally smiled faintly and accepted the bouquet. "Thank you." That small gesture marked the first step between them. That night, they decided to have a drink together. William was eager to learn more about her, and she, in turn, wanted to understand who he truly was. They found themselves in a cozy bar near the station, its dim lighting and soft music creating an intimate atmosphere. William learned that her name was Lyra, and she came from a distant planet. She worked at the space station as a biological researcher, a field she was deeply passionate about. William shared his own story, how his wealth and luxurious lifestyle had left him feeling isolated and yearning for a genuine connection. As the night progressed, their conversation deepened. Lyra admitted that she wasn't impressed by William's wealth, but appreciated his sincerity and the thoughtful gesture of the flowers. William, in turn, was captivated by Lyra's wisdom and her unique perspective on life. Both of them felt as though they had found something they had been searching for in each other. Time seemed to slip away as they talked. Outside, the endless expanse of space stretched out, dotted with a faint glimmer of stars. When it was time to leave, Lyra offered to walk William back to his hotel. He accepted, and they strolled through the quiet streets of the station together. In the luxurious confines of William's hotel room, the attraction between them became undeniable. Their physical connection was intense, a culmination of the emotional bond they had begun to form. Lyra's purple skin seemed to glow under William's touch, and for the first time in a long while, neither of them felt alone. The next morning, William woke to find Lyra beside him. He looked at her, knowing that this night had changed him in ways he couldn't yet fully understand. Lyra smiled at him, and though neither of them knew where this relationship would lead, they were both willing to find out. That night was just the beginning for William. His connection with Lyra had the potential to transform his life. Both of them were aware of this, and they were eager to see what adventures lay ahead. As they lay in bed together, William made a bold proposal. "Lyra, what if we left this place? What if we went back to Earth together? I could set up a company for you, a place where you could continue your research. You could be the director, have your own lab, your own team. Your talents and knowledge could make a real difference there. And I want to be by your side." Lyra was initially skeptical. The idea seemed impractical, even absurd. But as she considered it, she began to see the logic in his proposal. A new beginning on Earth, a chance to conduct her research freely, and the opportunity to build a life with William. "William," she said slowly, "this is a big step, but maybe it's the right one. I want to try something new with you." William's face lit up with relief and joy. He took her hand in his and said, "Then let's do it together. Let's go back to Earth and start a new life." A few weeks later, William and Lyra embarked on their journey to Earth. William had already begun making arrangements for the biotech company he would establish for Lyra. The company would focus on her area of expertise, biological research, and under her leadership it would make groundbreaking discoveries. Lyra found herself growing more excited about the idea. Having her own lab, her own team, and William's support was more than she had ever dreamed of. When they arrived on Earth, Lyra quickly adapted to her new surroundings. William had provided her with a spacious home and a fully equipped laboratory. As she began her work, she felt a sense of freedom and motivation she hadn't experienced before. William, too, found a new sense of purpose in supporting Lyra and being by her side. One evening, after a long day in the lab, Lyra and William sat on the balcony of their home, gazing at the stars. Lyra turned to William and said, "Thank you for doing this. Not just for giving me this opportunity, but for truly understanding me." William took her hand and replied, "You've changed my life, Lyra. Being with you means more to me than anything else." Both of them knew that the step they had taken together was the right one. Though the future was uncertain, their belief in each other and the bond they shared prepared them to face any challenge. As time passed, Lyra's company, Nova Biotech, became a beacon of innovation in the field of biological research. Under her leadership, the company made groundbreaking discoveries that revolutionized medicine, agriculture, and environmental sustainability. One of her most notable achievements was the development of a bioengineered organism capable of breaking down plastic waste into harmless organic compounds. This invention alone earned her global acclaim and positioned Nova Biotech as a leader in combating environmental crises. William, though not a scientist himself, played a crucial role in the company's success. His business acumen and vast network of connections helped secure funding, partnerships, and resources that allowed Lyra's team to push the boundaries of what was possible. Together, they were an unstoppable force, Lyra with her brilliance and vision, and William with his unwavering support and strategic mind. Despite their professional triumphs, their personal life was not without challenges. The demands of running a globally recognized company often left them with little time for each other. There were moments of tension, late nights spent apart, and disagreements over the direction of the company. But through it all, their bond remained strong. They had learned to communicate openly, to lean on each other during difficult times, and to celebrate their victories together. One evening, after a particularly grueling week, William surprised Lyra with a quiet dinner at their home. He had prepared her favorite meal, a dish from her home planet that he had spent weeks learning to cook. As they sat together, the soft glow of candles illuminating the room, Lyra felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. "You've been working so hard," William said, his voice filled with admiration. I wanted to remind you that you're not alone in this. We're a team, Lyra. Always. Lyra smiled, her purple skin glowing in the warm light. I don't say it enough, but I couldn't have done any of this without you. You've given me more than just a company, William. You've given me a home, a purpose, and a love I never thought I'd find. Their relationship deepened as they navigated the complexities of their lives together. They began to carve out time for themselves, whether it was a weekend getaway to a remote cabin or simply a quiet evening spent stargazing in their backyard. These moments of connection reminded them of why they had chosen this path together. One day, Lyra made a discovery that would change everything. While working on a project aimed at extending human lifespan, she stumbled upon a breakthrough that had far greater implications. She had developed a method to regenerate damaged tissues at a cellular level, effectively reversing the effects of aging. The implications were staggering. This technology could not only extend life, but also cure diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries. When she shared the news with William, he was awestruck. "This is incredible, Lyra. This could change the world." But Lyra's expression was thoughtful. "It could," she agreed. "But it also raises ethical questions. How do we ensure this technology is used responsibly? How do we prevent it from being exploited by those who only care about power and profit?" William took her hand. "We'll figure it out together. We've come this far, haven't we?" The announcement of Lyra's discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community and the world at large. Nova Biotech became the center of global attention, with governments, corporations, and organizations clamoring to collaborate with them. Lyra and William were thrust into the spotlight, their every move scrutinized by the media. Amid the chaos, they remained steadfast in their commitment to each other and their shared vision. They established strict ethical guidelines for the use of the technology, ensuring it would be accessible to all and not just the wealthy elite. They also founded the Nova Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to using their discoveries to address global challenges such as poverty, disease, and environmental degradation. As the years passed, Lyra and William's legacy grew. They became symbols of hope and progress, proof that love and collaboration could change the world. Their company continued to innovate, tackling some of humanity's most pressing problems with groundbreaking solutions. One evening, as they stood on the balcony of their home, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and purple, Lyra turned to William. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" she asked. William smiled, his eyes filled with warmth. "Every day, and I wouldn't trade a single moment of it." Lyra leaned into him, her head resting on his shoulder. "Neither would I. We've built something incredible, William. Not just the company or the discoveries, but this life we've created together." William wrapped his arm around her, pulling her close, "And we're just getting started." Their journey had been filled with challenges, triumphs, and countless moments of love and connection. Through it all, they had remained true to themselves and to each other. As they looked out at the horizon, they knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together. And so, the story of William and Lyra continued, a testament to the power of love, perseverance, and the belief that even the stars are within reach when you have someone to share the journey with. Their legacy would endure, not just in the discoveries they made, but in the lives they touched and the world they helped to heal. And as long as they had each other, there was no limit to what they could achieve.